solve for that in making headshots much more accessible to as many people as possible.
Coming up on News Live at 6, a new technology making sure you look your best in time for job hunting season.
Plus, the Chancellor's latest comments on the future of college athletics, the university leader's next steps towards a new look in the NCAA.
Keep our eyes on the pulse of what people are creating across the country and love to work with artists.
And a local organization spreading art with a cultural purpose, the impacts on the community. News Live at 6 starts right now.
This is CitrusTV News Live at 6, your campus news leader.
It's job hunting season at colleges across the country. Welcome into News Live at 6. I'm Benjamin Schiller.
And I'm Ilana Epstein in for Katie Fong-Vongsa tonight. Just in time for applications, a new technology wants to make sure you look your best. New at 6, an iSchool alum, Keegan Slattery, is using artificial intelligence to boost professional headshots. CitrusTV reporter Jackson Breslin spoke with Slattery about how his company is making users stand out.
Sarah Mason, like many students looking to get a summer job, needed a professional headshot. The sophomore attended a free professional portrait session at Shine today.
I'm a design student, and it's really important on your portfolio to have just some sort of picture of yourself, and I don't have one that's super official right now, so I wanted to get one that I could kind of use for that in my resume and LinkedIn and everything.
While students like Sarah can get their pictures at Shine, a company called BetterShot makes AI-generated professional portraits. All you have to do is submit 10 photos of yourself, and BetterShot does the rest. Keegan Slattery is an SU alumnus who co-founded the company in late 2023. He says bad profile photos on websites like LinkedIn piqued his interest in using AI to generate the perfect headshot.
And we've just noticed that a lot of people have issues finding good imagery, and getting a regular headshot with a photographer is expensive. It's time consuming. People get really uncomfortable having to stand in front of a camera and pose. And so we really want to solve for that in making headshots much more accessible to as many people as possible.
Now, with this increased accessibility, there are going to be a few hiccups. Contrary to what BetterShot's AI believes, I do not have 3 arms, and I do have a head. But Slattery says that out of the 120 photos that BetterShot generates, at least 8 to 10 will be usable for a professional headshot.
You should see the photos from when we first started. They were wild. The AI had all sorts of crazy things, like multiple heads, things growing out of your head, crazy backgrounds. The body composition was totally off. I think we've got probably the most lifelike and realistic of all the headshot generators out there.
Even though Slattery says BetterShot is one of the most accurate platforms available, Sarah says she would need to learn more about AI headshots before using it.
Depends on I don't know, I'm not super familiar with AI as a program. I haven't got to play with it too much.
Ultimately, companies like BetterShot give a glimpse into how AI can be used to make yourself stand out to employers. Look at that handsome and professional devil. Reporting in Syracuse, Jackson Breslin, CitrusTV News.
Great story, Jackson. New details now. Chancellor Syverud is once again commenting on the future of college athletics. Syverud is part of a group called College Sports Tomorrow. A few weeks ago, he told The Athletic the group is working to drastically change the NCAA system for college athletics.
Now, the Chancellor is addressing the University Senate. He said, quote, "I believe colleges and universities must work together fast to create sustainable models that ensure the future success of collegiate athletics and especially includes preserving women's sports and Olympic sports."
Syverud added, "I've been vocal on this issue because Syracuse's strong athletic tradition is so important to our students and our alumni, to our brand, and to Central New York." Syverud says he has reached out to more academic leaders and the Senate Agenda Committee for further discussions.
Syracuse University is moving to a fully cashless system in its dining halls and campus stores. Starting this fall, students will only be able to use a card or contactless payment methods around the university. SU has been moving away from cash payments in previous years. The Dome and parking transportation services have already gone cashless. Only 3% of total campus retail and dining sales were made up of cash last year.
SU will present 5 honorary degrees at commencement in May. Hilton Alls, an award-winning journalist, will receive an honorary Doctorate of Letters. Jim Boeheim, the Hall of Fame basketball coach, will receive a Doctor of Humane Letters for his work on and off the court. Joan Brodsky served on the National Museum and Library Services Board. She will receive a Doctor of Letters. Her husband, Bill Brodsky, will receive a Doctor of Laws. Brodsky is a University Life trustee. Lynn Conway will receive a Doctor of Science. Conway is a renowned computer scientist.
The end of the semester is near, so the College of Arts and Sciences showcased student research from this year. Citrus TV reporter Lizzie Gottlieb attended the event and learned the impact of the research on students.
In a full-day event, the College of Arts and Sciences held a research festival to highlight the work of undergraduate students. Students gave poster presentations to receive feedback on their work for the semester. Student Megan Gonzalez says that the festival gives an opportunity that the classroom does not.
This festival has really helped me to do something that I've always wanted to do with my research, which is just get a chance to speak about it. I usually in my lab, I just present in my group or I just speak with my mentor and my PI, but it's really given me a chance to broaden out and try to speak to new people.
Undergraduate Research Committee member Kathy Everly says that the festival helps students meet others outside their major and disciplines.
I think the purpose of this festival is to bring together students from different disciplines, from the sciences, from the humanities.
Kathy Everly says how the College of Arts and Sciences helps students fund their research.
The source grants, which is something that has really helped students find a way to pursue interests that are maybe beyond their classroom experience with a faculty mentor.
The Undergraduate Research Festival brings a conclusion to the semester as students display their accomplishments. For Citrus TV News, I'm Lizzie Gottlieb.
Lizzie, thank you so much. Turning to the weather now, I feel like every week I keep getting so excited that it's going to be all nice and warm and sunny, and then we get to Friday, and here comes the rain.
You know, in Central New York weather, especially in April, is it raining? Is it sunny? We just do not know. But you know who may have the answer to that question? Our Spencer Congel. He is live at the Citrus TV weather deck. Spencer, what's the weather looking like outside?
Ben, right now, it's pretty cloudy outside, not much more than that. It was pretty rainy today, but right now, definitely not too bad. We did even see the sun peek out just a little bit, not expecting too much more of that today. There is expected to be some scattered showers throughout the rest of the day, but nothing too crazy. It's not cleared up all the way just yet. The clouds are going to continue throughout the evening. We're going to see a low of 43 degrees early tomorrow morning. So definitely a little chilly if you're going out tomorrow morning. I would bring a jacket because it is going to be pretty cold, pretty cloudy, and a little bit windy. But we will see some sun in the sky tomorrow. So I would certainly be looking for that, at least even if it's just in the morning. Now, stay tuned later where I'll have your full 5-day forecast. But until then, Ilana, what's going on in the news?
Spencer, thank you. I'm looking forward to that sun. And in the news, a local organization has been selling activism-inspired artwork for years. Leah Cohn caught up with them to learn about the history of activist art in Syracuse.
Syracuse is both a place where there's a remarkable history of people standing up for human rights, for peace, but it's also a city with many, many challenges. It's a city with a terribly high poverty rate, and those problems aren't going to be solved by prayer or by depending on politicians. They're going to be solved by everyday people coming together. So my name's Andy Major. I'm the coordinator here at Syracuse Cultural Workers. I've been here about 10 years. Although I've been connected to the business since it was started now 42 years ago.
Syracuse Cultural Workers emerged in 1982 when the local activist organization Syracuse Peace Council decided to stop producing their famous Peace Calendar, initiated at the Syracuse Common Council. Now local activists launched Syracuse Cultural Workers starting with the Peace Calendar and has grown in terms of products and staff.
That we work with artists to turn them into products. We keep our eyes on the pulse of what people are creating across the country and love to work with artists and lift up what they do, provide new markets for them to be able to make a little more money with their artwork and to spread their message. Make Art Not War is an iconic piece by Shepard Fairey, who became famous for his Obama Hope image in 2008. Then also lots of t-shirts, some of which are similar images to what we use on other things. This is one of our shirts as well. We always use either organic cotton shirts or 100% recycled cotton.
Ciara Feldman, who starred at Syracuse Cultural Workers just 2 months ago, says her position as graphic designer has already helped her find a way to combine her hobby of photography with her career goals.
During Black Lives Matter protests, and I was getting photos, and that was kind of like the beginning of where I was able to turn, passion into, something I can use to make my community a better place.
Leah Cohn, Citrus TV News.
Leah, thank you. We're learning new details now on the gun used to kill a police officer and a sheriff's deputy earlier this week. Onondaga County District Attorney Bill Fitzpatrick says the rifle used was put together in, quote, a Frankenstein way. Fitzpatrick says Christopher Murphy legally purchased individual gun parts to assemble the gun but avoid having to get a permit. Investigators are still working to determine if the other guns found in the home were purchased legally.
A 17-year-old was arrested in Utica with a ghost gun yesterday. Utica police officers approached two men as part of a shooting investigation. One of them ran away but was caught by the officers. He admitted he was in possession of a 9mm handgun. The 17-year-old was sent to the Juvenile Aid Unit at the Utica Police Department. He faces 4 criminal charges.
DeWitt is placing its police chief under suspension. Chase Bilodeau was placed on administrative leave with pay. The decision was made after a special town board meeting last night. The meeting minutes show only that a personal issue is the reason for the suspension. An acting chief was put in place. Bilodeau has held the chief role since April of 2020 and has worked with the department since 2007.
New York Senator Chuck Schumer is updating the timeline for Micron's construction project. Schumer says construction could start in 2025. It was announced Micron would receive more than $6 billion in federal aid through the CHIPS and Science Act yesterday, but Schumer says the money isn't without guardrails. Micron can't get most of the money until it's completed and the factory and hired employees. Schumer spoke yesterday about the value of the memory chips made at Micron.
Memory chips are among the most important new cutting-edge kind of chips that can be made because memory chips are what's used in AI. And until now, the vast majority of memory chips are from overseas, creating a security risk, a national security risk, an economic risk.
Schumer says the investment will help make upstate New York the global epicenter for chip manufacturing.
And another key part of Micron's move to Central New York is education, and Onondaga Community College is working to set students up to be future microchip employees. OCC's Electronic Mechanical Technology degree program is in its second semester. 10 students from the program have paid internships with Micron this summer. OCC is going beyond undergrads. The school is working with local high schools to offer introductory electromechanical technology classes. High school students can also participate in a semiconductor summer program through the community college.
Governor Kathy Hochul is allocating millions of dollars in her proposed budget to prevent retail theft. She announced a new legislation to try and stop people from stealing store merchandise. It's part of Hochul's larger effort to reduce crime in the state. Hochul wants to create a new criminal penalty on assaulting retail workers and classifying the theft as a hate crime.
And another part of Hochul's preliminary budget is a housing deal. The Central New York policymakers say the deal won't do much to help residents outside of New York City. The budget outlines new state tax incentives for developers, a cap on rent increases, and tenant eviction protections. State Assembly member Pam Hunter says the bill has been watered down. Communities outside of New York City would have to opt in. Meanwhile, Assembly Minority Leader Will Barclay called the compromise an assault on property owners. And coming up on News Live at 6, the House passes a foreign aid bill as Israel fires back, the latest on the conflict in the Middle East.
And later, the Tesla Cybertruck goes pedal to the metal. A bit too much. Why thousands of trucks are being recalled. Stay with us.
I see you mobbing over her. Let's go. Let's mob. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, we mobbing. Come on, girl. Let's crawl.
don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
If you see news happening on campus, in Syracuse, or across the nation, call the CitrusTV newsroom, 315-443-1177, or tweet at CitrusTV News, your campus news leader.
Welcome back to News Live at 6. Let's head downstate to Manhattan now for the latest on Trump's hush money trial. Just hours ago, a man set himself on fire just outside the courthouse. He was rushed to the hospital in critical condition. Protesters of the former president's trial have been rallying all week.
These protests come after Judge Merchan's announcement that the full jury for the trial, along with all 6 alternates, have been chosen. The panel of 7 men and 5 women will hear opening statements starting Monday morning.
The Biden administration finalized new provisions to Title IX rules earlier this morning to change hands and dismantle previous Education Secretary Betsy DeVos's rule that protected students accused of sexual misconduct.
The Biden administration says this new push will protect students of the LGBTQ+ community. Some critics say more protections are needed for transgender students. Biden has drafted a provision in support of these students, but it's on hold for now.
To the latest in Washington now, the House's efforts towards a bipartisan foreign aid package is making strides. Earlier today, the House held a vote to finalize the bill that would send support to Israel, Ukraine, and Taiwan. Speaker Mike Johnson spearheaded the bill but gained support from a large group of Democrats.
The initial vote on the bill passed 316 to 94. The House will vote again this weekend to send the legislation to the Senate. The bill also includes measures of a TikTok ban, seizing assets on Russia, as well as imposing sanctions on Russia, Iran, and China.
From Capitol Hill to the Middle East, one of Biden's top military officials confirmed Israel has officially conducted missile strikes in Iran. This retaliation from the IDF was expected when Israeli officials vowed a response after Iran's attack on Sunday.
While the extent of the attack is still unclear, one central Iranian general says he heard loud noises just east of the city, which were air defenses intercepting the missiles. No damage was reported.
Coming up on News Live at 6, I'll have your full 5-day forecast and a look at how much rain we might be getting this April. Stay with us.
Yo, camping buddy. Okay, you guys ready?
Dude, I thought you were driving.
I thought you were driving.
Oh, I never said I was driving.
I definitely can't drive.
Okay.
If you're high, just don't drive. It's illegal everywhere. If you feel different, you drive different.
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's not something you buy.
Or something you take.
In fact, there's only one way to get it.
It has to be given to you.
freely.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape. Consent.
If you don't get it, you don't get it.
It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
From the CitrusTV Weather Center, this is SU's most accurate weather forecast.
Welcome back to News Live at 6. Here you can see our 5-day forecast. It is not looking great, not those nice spring days that we would hope to see in April. But at least things are, pretty warm. We're in the 50s and 60s all week, which I'll take. Over here on Saturday, Sunday, cloudy, some sun on Monday. I'll take it. Tuesday, cloudy again. Wednesday, 60% chance of rain. At least we're going 4 days without rain, which is maybe a record for this April so far. But speaking of the rain, I've got some rainfall statistics here in April in Syracuse, New York. So the average amount of rain that we would expect to get in April in central New York is about 3.3 inches. Now, so far in 2024, we're at 2.7, so we're already almost reaching that average point that we would be at in April. We are a little over halfway through April. In 2023, we saw 3.6, 2018 a particularly low year with 2.5, so we've already surpassed that this year. And in 2014, another 3.6 inches of rain. So it seems that the average of rain that we see in April is relatively consistent, somewhere between 3.5 and 2.5 or so inches of rain. But it looks like we may still have a little ways to go before we're really all the way done with that rain, so get your umbrella out and keep it ready to go. That's all I've got in the weather for now. Ben, Ilana, back to you.
Spencer, I feel like it's always raining, but you know what? Let's go back to some news stories. Tesla is recalling nearly 4,000 of its Cybertrucks for a potentially dangerous design flaw. A problem with the pedal first spotted by a TikTok user led to a safety recall support from the federal government.
An investigation that in some vehicles, a rubber pad on the gas pedal could dislodge and cause the pedal to stick to the floor. All trucks manufactured since last November will be brought back to Tesla for repair. Now, we know all about our motor vehicles, but we don't know about sports. Ryan, can you tell me what's going on?
Yeah, Ilana, it will be a busy day inside the JMA Wireless Dome on Saturday, one that includes Syracuse football's spring game. I'll give you all the details about that and a whole lot more after the break.
Life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome. Prediabetes does. 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, but with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. And you can change the outcome. Take the 1-minute prediabetes risk test today. Go to doihaveprediabetes.org.
And now, your CitrusTV Sports Report.
Did someone say football? Yep, that's right. Football is back in the Dome tomorrow night. Welcome into sports. I'm Ryan Bridges. Syracuse fans will get their first look at the SU team in the Fran Brown era tomorrow at 7. Coach Brown has talked about how the spring game will be intense for his players. However, the first-year head man wants his group to feel a sense of pride after the game.
And just for our players, like at the end of the day, when guys play football, you put so much into it, and then like at the game, you don't get the results, you kind of like down and you're around your family, and it's just not that lifting spirit. I just pray that like everyone could be like healthy and everyone just feel like, yeah, I feel good about it, and they feel good about the future that they have in it,
The team will run out of the tunnel shortly before 7, and the game kicks off at 7:05. Tickets to the Dome are free. Now, staying on the turf, number 2 Syracuse women's lacrosse has coasted to victories over Pitt and Clemson recently. However, their regular season finale last night against number 6 Boston College was no easy task. Let's get you over to Chestnut Hill to see who came out in this bout between 2 ACC powerhouses. BC has been SU's kryptonite as of recently. They beat them twice last season. Here's Emma Ward scoring in the first quarter. Syracuse goes up 3-2. Later on in the first half, Natalie Smith picks up the ball about 15 yards away, gets some space behind her defender. She scores. Syracuse up 5-3 at this point, having a pretty comfortable lead, but BC would erase that. Score now tied 6-6 in the third quarter. Here's Ward once again. She had these 2 goals plus another assist now into the fourth. Savannah Schweitzer working on goal line extended. She gets past her defender and finishes high. Syracuse goes up 10-9 with about 4 minutes to go. And then with 90 seconds left, BC, they need a goal to force overtime. Emma Lapinto behind cage finds Rachel Clark for the goal through traffic. College lacrosse overtime is sudden death, so whoever scores next wins. And unfortunately for SU fans, it was BC. Cassidy Weeks scores that final goal right there, and Boston College wins. It snaps SU's 8-game winning streak up until that point, but Syracuse did walk up the regular season ACC title, so they will have the number 1 seed in the ACC tournament, and Syracuse is back in action in the quarterfinals of that tournament on Wednesday. But the lacrosse, it doesn't stop just there. Before the spring game, Syracuse men's lacrosse takes on number 4 Virginia inside the Dome at 2. It's a great chance for SU to earn a higher seed in the ACC tournament, the NCAA tournament, and Syracuse will be honoring Paul Gate, the brother of Syracuse head coach Gary Gate, at halftime of that game. Guys, that's it for me in sports. Back over to you.
Ryan, thank you. Ilana, huge game in the Dome tomorrow for lacrosse.
Yeah, definitely. Well, after the break, our Spencer Congel will give us the weather that's on the way. Stay with us.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
Hey Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry, I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
When you wake up tomorrow, we're going to see a high of 52 degrees at noon. The sun is going to be out until around 11 a.m. or noon, and it won't be too bad throughout the day. That's all I've got in weather for now. Ilana and Ben, back to you.
Spencer, thank you. And if you're wondering what is going on in the music world, look no further than Taylor Swift. The Grammy winner released her 11th studio album last night called Tortured Poets Department.
Well, I got a chance to listen. My favorite song is So Long London. Did you get to listen?
I did not. I'm really a big fan of Taylor Swift. I know everyone's in the newsroom is kind of looking at me right now being like, you should listen to Taylor Swift. Not really a fan of her music, to be honest.
I say you give it a listen. You have 31 songs to choose, 13 backwards, Taylor's lucky number, so
Well,
I think you could definitely...
I'll save it for after the show, and that's all the time we have for you at Citrus TV News Live at 6 for this Friday.
Don't forget, you can follow us on Instagram at CitrusTV News or on Twitter. I'm Ilana Epstein.
And I'm Benjamin Schiller. Have a great night, Syracuse.